Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. It is an affiliate and Amazon Associates business created in January of 2017 in the survival and security niche. The average monthly revenue for the business is $11,497 and makes an average of $9,528 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are a primary domain and all site content and files, 2 secondary domains and all site content and files, employee contracts, and social media accounts, which include YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 60096 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Rohit. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to get us started, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. I have a background in operations, and I met my partner when I heard him on a podcast. He was building websites as a hobby and reached out to him, and we really doubled down on building businesses together. So his ability to find the product market fit and my ability to scale things really worked well together. So we started from like one site, and now we have a small portfolio of a handful of sites.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was how you met your partner. Very cool, through a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. And for this site specifically, why did you choose this niche?
Yeah, so this niche, we had a success with similar niche before, and that was the first successful site my partner had sold on Empire Flippers marketplace itself. After a few years, we found an expired domain in the similar niche. So we kind of bought it and put some content on it, and we saw very quick traction. So that is when we decided to like double down and do more.
Got it. Excellent. So you built this business that's been, 5 years. So why are you deciding to sell the business now instead of keeping it and growing it?
Focus has changed slightly over the years, and we've been building these for 5 years almost. And we have tried out other models, and now we are more focused on e-commerce and SaaS businesses. And we are building those take more capital requirements and also take more of our time as well. So to raise capital for those businesses and also to not ignore a business that is doing well, we want to sell the business.
Yep. SaaS and e-commerce, for that matter, can definitely be two very capital intensive endeavors. So understandable. Okay. So during your time building this site, what did you learn from building this that just seemed to work, that contributed to its success?
Yeah, it is focusing on the long tail. Previously, we were underestimating how powerful long tail is. So in this niche specifically, we really went after all the long tail keywords, and that really paid off in terms of diversity of the traffic to the site. Like no page gets more than 1.5% of the overall traffic. So focusing on long tail helped us achieve that diversity, and also working with experts in the niche itself. So we improved the quality of our site to a great degree when we did that.
Oh, for like creating content, you mean?
For creating content, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, rather than finding like the cheapest writer who brings acceptable quality, we went over the board in some cases and paid someone like $1,000 to write one article or $2,000 to also to like test things out, right? And we don't do it for every article, but we have sprinkles of those within the site, which I think makes it a strong site.
Yeah. So would you kind of evaluate like the opportunity for an article to do really well I guess, justifies a certain price for that article?
Yeah, we usually do it going back. So we write content and we go back and update the content which are doing well with expert writers.
Oh, okay.
So we are only spending top dollar on the things that are already working well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And was there anything that you tried with this business that didn't work as well?
Yeah, we tried email newsletter and we used to send like discount coupons on the email, which never really worked per se. We had like few thousand email subscribers and we'd send them discounts to products which are only available that day, but no one really purchased anything from that. And maybe it was not the right audience. We're not the type of people who are looking to buy such impulsively. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, that's something that I guess didn't work. But if you were to do more elaborate email campaign, that probably would work. But what we tried for discount coupons did not.
Got it. Well, it was a growth test worth trying at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a few years. So I guess 5 years, that means the site is relatively mature. So can you describe the amount and the type of work you do on this business for maintenance at this point?
Yeah, we have like three people working on the site overall. One is the site manager, which is either myself or my business partner, and a writer who's actually writing the content, and a VA who's doing all the uploading work. So, as a site manager, we spend maybe 2 hours every month with the keyword research, and also on the top of that, 2 hours every week coordinating with the writer and the VA. And the writer, writes, and VA probably spends around like 5 to 10 hours uploading the content. So if you put the owner in the shoes of a site manager and it has enough profit to like hire out a team and stuff like that, right? So I would say within 2 to 3 hours per week is something of a manageable workload for this site.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So let's go on to traffic for this site. Can you tell me a little bit about how traffic is generated?
Yeah, this traffic is mostly organic. We rank like the search engines. But one thing interesting about this site, which we haven't seen with even our own other sites, is it's diversified among the search engines. So we only get 50% of the traffic from Google. We get 20% from like Bing and 20% from DuckDuckGo and around 10% from Yahoo. So it's fairly diversified in terms of traffic sources from where the traffic is coming from, which also immunes you to some extent to any updates and algorithm changes and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. That is usually when I see a business is 90% plus organic. I think the assumption is that it's going to be primarily Google, but that's great to hear that there is such a diverse array of engines that this ranks on. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, you did mention a risk there. So let's get into the opportunities and the risks. If you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
So in this niche, there are new models of products that are added yearly, but we haven't kept up with the new last 2, 3 years of products actually. So I would definitely add content around those. I would also add like Google AdSense or Ezoic or some display ads on the site. There is a good amount of non-affiliate content on which we get a lot of traffic, and adding ads is probably like a quick win. It was actually listing this business that we realized it was probably a miss on our part to capture another couple of thousand of revenue probably that we would make by adding AdSense.
Yeah.
That's a good opportunity or quick win. And the last thing is link building. I would say that can be crucial. We have done zero link building on this site because we tried it. It's not our strength, and our team, like, we didn't create good systems for it, I think. So if someone has a link building skill as their core competency, they can really take this site to the next level.
Nice. So display advertising and link building. Okay. And yeah, it's after speaking with several sellers, whenever I come to this question, sometimes I'll hear sellers say, after I actually thought about this question about the opportunities for growth, I kind of realized there was that opportunity that I could have done that. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty common for sellers to feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's opportunities. Of course, there's always a degree of risk with any opportunity. So what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
The biggest risk is, algorithm changes, mostly on Google's side, because they don't make those drastic of a changes, at least. So yeah, Google changing, Google updates, algorithm changes. But luckily, it's only 50% of the traffic, not 90% of it. But that is the biggest risk, I would say.
Yep, that is what any website owner would have to deal with, definitely, who is reliant on Google traffic. Okay, so let's wrap this up with some housekeeping questions. How much support are you willing to offer buyers?
Yeah, we are willing to offer as much as the buyer needs to be successful. We are open to doing around, 3 months with, first 30 days of phone support and maybe another couple of months of email support. But at the end of the day, like we want the buyer to be successful, right? So if they ask me for a call on the second month, we're not going to turn. We want them to be successful in running the business. So yeah, as much as needed.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, the default is 30 days, but that's great to hear that you're willing to offer even a month or two longer than that. All right. Next question, just confirming, would you commit to a non-compete on this sale?
Yes, we actually listed the other smaller sites we had along with the larger site as a package. So we are getting out of this niche like completely. So yes, we would be happy to do a non-compete.
Okay, sounds good. And are you open to something like an earnout on this business?
Yeah, this is not such a huge business, so we would definitely prefer a upfront cash purchase, but we are not opposed to it. For the right type of deal, we are open to looking into an earnout.
Okay, excellent. And putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Yeah, I would say two different things. One is just the diversity. So there is diversification of top pages, like I said, with no page receiving more than 1.5% of the traffic. There is diversification of search engines with traffic coming from Bing, Yahoo, and other sources. And also there is diversification of affiliate platforms, which is crucial in this day and age of like supply shortages. So if there is one vendor who doesn't have stock and he's on a particular platform, we can switch to the same product in a different vendor in a different platform. Also, it helps with someone reduce their commission rates to switch over and maximize our revenue. So there's a lot of diversity built into the site, I think. And also it's the amount of upside is kind of big, right? Like if you see the history of the site, there were times when the site was making much more than its current values in the past. So taking it back to those levels is definitely a possibility. And it's nowhere close to being its highest potential. And like, link building and all those things that I talked about earlier come into play. But I think the amount of upside is huge.
Yeah, definitely, with some very real strengths coming with this business. Okay. Last question, if it's relevant to you. Is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during this interview?
No, I think we covered everything.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to wrap this up here. Rohit, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And yeah, I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 60096. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.